Hello everybody, I'm Chris Segrell, Principal of Christ the King School, and I'm here with
Amy Becker, Assistant Principal of Christ the King School.
and we're very happy to be here in front of you again doing another video. I think we're getting kind of used to it, but it's a really good way to get information out. So thank you in advance for watching all of our videos, including this one. I just want to we have a lot of things to kind of share with you, not a lot new, but we are still on track to start school on August 21st. And that's at 100% building capacity. That means all students back in the building Monday through Friday for all school day. However, that very first day, which is Friday the 21st, that is an early dismissal, 1:15 dismissal on that day only. So because it's an early dismissal day, there is no after school extended care on that day. But starting the next week, then every day is a full day. And there's extended care both before school starting at 7:15 and then also after school going until 5:30. So we are on track for everything and we're excited about that and looking forward to it. Yes, exactly. If you have any questions about extended care, I know some people have been asking questions about it, how it works, where we're going to have it. There is a family handbook that has been posted on the website. Please refer to that for extended care questions or information. And that handbook, that's our normal handbook, and we put it out there, but there's a lot of things that are different because of the challenges this year and the restrictions because of COVID-19. So we have another handbook that we also posted last week as well, and this handbook is the School Operating Procedures through COVID-19 and Remote Learning handbook. And that's kind of a mouthful, but that is also posted on the website. This is the teacher and staff version. We do have a family version that's out there on the website that covers a lot of family things and questions you might have about the different procedures. So please take a look at that, and that'll kind of allow you to go through the different procedures. And these are things that are unique for this year because of COVID-19 and the restrictions. Next year, hopefully things get back to normal. The family handbook will be back in play. We'll expand it out and we'll eliminate the COVID and the remote learning handbook. Although some elements may go into the regular family handbook depending on what they are. One of the things that you definitely want to look at in the COVID and remote learning handbook, it does talk about something new this year, and it's a statement of understanding and consent form that every family will have to complete and submit as part of their final registration package. So kind of covers that, explains what it is, but that's basically, we want you to pre-screen your child before you send them to school. Make sure that they're not showing any kind of symptoms, they're not sick, and if they are sick or showing any kind of symptoms, that you keep them home. So that's part of this consent form. Also, if we have an outbreak, we have some kind of situation, we need to at least alert our families that that has happened. That's part of the consent part of it. We're not going to release names or details, but we at least need to alert people if something has happened in a particular grade level, particular class. So everyone is at least alert to that and can be watchful. So just take a look at that form on there, and please take a look at that handbook because that is going to be very useful information. It also talks in that handbook about how drop-off is going to look, how we're going to enter the school. When the kids enter the school, as soon as they get out of their vehicles, they're going to be given a mask. We're going to issue masks to everybody. We do have parent helpers that will be assisting us with this, and we're very grateful for that. And our students, if they want to bring their own mask from home, wear their own mask from home, we're okay with that. It has to be a solid color. The outside border of it can be a little bit different, but a solid color is something that's not distracting, and that's why we're doing that. We have had a lot of you parents have been giving us suggestions about, can they have sports teams, can they tailor it, can it be matching their skirt pattern, things like that.
Can I bling it?
Right.
Sequins.
Right, exactly. And these are all fun ideas, they're all good ideas, but we're just keeping things simple. It's got to be a solid color, just like this one is a solid color. This color is the adult color size, so our adults will get this and our older students will get this as well. But we do have other sizes of masks that are different colors, so we know what the size is, so we can just outfit everybody with the correct size. So Please just be aware of that, and we do appreciate all your suggestions on all the ideas with masks, and I don't know if we'll ever go to that, but for right now there's so much on our plate and there's so much going on. We just want to keep things as simple as possible. Also, when the students come in the building, they'll be passing through a screening station. And Mrs. Becker and I, we're going to be making a video that'll come out the next time that will show what it's going to look like when you get out of the car, when you're going in the doors, going through the screening station, just to give you parents an idea, and students too that are still at home, anticipating the start of school year, what it's going to look like when they arrive and when they go in the building. We want you to be prepared, at least know what to expect. But one of the things we're going to be using is a touchless thermometer. This actually works really well. We've tested it out a number of times. Within a second, it'll give you a reading, so we can very quickly process everybody through the building. So they'll see this as well and get to kind of experience that. And we're not going to make a big deal out of it. It's going to just be a routine thing we just have to do. It's part of our school day. And then we're going to press on with the things that really matter, which is the learning that goes on every day in the school building. So it'll look a little different at first. Everyone will get used to it. But there's things that you can do to prepare your child. Just maybe have them watch this video. Maybe go through the handbook with them so they can see some of the different things that they're going to do. Maybe practice with them wearing a mask. Let them get used to that. Just so they can kind of, it's not such a drastic change when it's time to do that. We as teachers, we're starting to wear masks right now, and we're doing it not only to protect each other, but we're doing it to get used to things. Mrs. Becker and I are distancing ourselves here. We figure you want to see our faces and not see us wearing a mask, so we're not wearing that for the video, but we do in other times throughout the school building. Also, final registration materials, these were mailed out, and an email also went out with information last week. Please get these back to the office as soon as possible. We are finalizing the school lists and class lists and everything, so we do need that information from you and all those documents. A drop box will be set up outside of the school building just to make it very convenient. You can just drive up and drop it off in the slot, and that'll be out there starting on, today when this video airs, which is the 5th of August, and it'll be out there through the rest of the week. And it'll probably be out there for the duration of the normal school day, probably around 8 o'clock to 3 o'clock. So just give you an idea of the times for that. If you did not receive any of those materials for final registration, please contact the office as soon as possible. I think they did a pretty good job getting it out to everybody, but sometimes something gets lost, something gets overlooked. So if that happened to you, please let us know so we can make that right and get everything to you that you're going to need. Another thing that I want to just kind of mention today is the option for remote learning. Even though we are starting the school year on the 21st of August, in-person school, you do have the option for remote learning for your child or your children if you're not comfortable with having them returning to school right now because of the conditions that are happening in Nebraska with COVID-19. We understand that. We want to make that available in case you wanted to do that. But you have to let us know by the 14th of August that your child or children are going to do that so we can get everything set up. It doesn't lock you into that. If you opt for remote learning and then you decide after a couple of weeks, hey, it seems safe, I'm more comfortable with this, then just let us know, and then your child can just start coming in person. We can easily phase into it and out of it. Also, if you start your child with in-person schooling and then things heighten in Nebraska and you don't feel quite comfortable, you can opt for remote learning at that point too. We understand that there's going to be movement back and forth, and we're willing to try that and work with you on that. So, but please just kind of let us know by the 14th of August so we can make sure that we have everything set up. One thing that's going to allow us to do this very easily in the classroom for our teachers is a device called a swivel. And this is a swivel right here. I thought I'd bring it in here. The next video that Mrs. Becker and I do on the 12th of August, we're going to actually have the swivel record us, and we're going to move around so you can kind of see from the other side what it does. But this device will allow our teachers to record the lessons going on in the classroom in person with the rest of the class, so somebody at home can watch and really see like they're there. So if the teacher is moving around the room or around the front of the room, the swivel is tracking the teacher and following the teacher. if the teacher drops something and crouches down on the floor or does some demonstration which allows them to get lower, the swivel will swivel down, it'll swivel up. So a child at home doing remote learning will be able to kind of be there in a way, the next best thing to being there at least. We're very excited about these things. All of our classrooms have these. Mr. Odom has done a really good job prepping all these, and they're in every classroom right now. Our teachers are going to be learning how to use these, how to manage everything with them during our training in service week. So I just wanted to point that out, that we're very excited about the swivels that we're going to use. And from what I understand, I don't think there's another school in Omaha that's using anything like this. I haven't run into anybody that is. I've talked about it with many other schools, and everybody's very intrigued. And the Catholic Schools Office, I know they want to be on the list for getting our next video when we actually are demoing, because they're very interested in this device as well. So with that, I'm going to turn the floor over to Mrs. Becker so she can talk to you about a few other things.
So last video, I gave you the really good news that for the school year, this coming year, our kids K through 8 can wear PE or tennis shoes instead of their typical uniform shoes, because they won't be changing for PE, they won't have a locker, they won't have a cubby. And I have some spies out in the field, and I run into kiddos at baseball games and parks and such, and I've heard things like, I have the coolest sandals and I can't wait to wear them on the first day of school, or in the winter, I'm wearing my boots. So I thought I better clarify, these are PE shoes. The idea is that you don't have to put on your athletic shoes to go participate in PE, run, train, whatever, because you're wearing them. So sandals and boots are not part of this. So sorry to be the downer on that. You'll have to wear your cute sandals, on the weekends. But this is tennis shoes, PE shoes, your active wear kind of shoes. And it's just for this year, so don't get too excited and attached to that. I also wanted to talk with you about the Sign Up Genius and volunteering. Let me first say, I set up the Sign Up Genius, and so everybody who signs up sends me an email. And within the first 2 or 3 days the link went out, my inbox was just flooded, and it just made my heart so happy to watch all of our parents signing up right away to fill the spots that we need so that we can socially distance during lunch and recess, allowing us all to be back together. So really a great job right off. I do want to add, we need some more. This first link, the Sign Up Genius that you'll see now, it runs from now until the end of September, and then the Parents Club and I are going to work together and go put in second quarter and third and fourth quarters for as long as we need to keep this amount of volunteers. But for right now, it's just through the month of September from beginning to school, so almost all of first quarter. We have a really strong need for the cafeteria help. Those are the people, it's the longest shift. It's the folks that are gonna come in and help load our lunch trays and get our lunches out to our classroom, work with Miss Scamperino in the kitchen. Being on kindergarten recess duty or lunch duty, I'm sure is more fun than loading mashed potatoes onto a tray, but we really need that help. In the past, we've sometimes let an 8th grader come down and they think that's really cool to have served lunch. We can't do that this year. So we are really relying on you. So far, the turnout's been amazing. Included with this video link is also the Sign Up Genius link again. If you haven't signed up and you've got some midday time, gosh, we would really appreciate it if you'd go put your name down for a couple of slots and we can see you in the building, and just help us all stay together in these smaller groups. So thank you. Go do it again.
And even if someone can volunteer just one time in the whole quarter, we're fine with that. Yep. It doesn't have to be anything that you do on a recurring basis. we will take one sign up if you can do even that.
Absolutely.
So every little bit helps, and it's all of us working together. So yeah, thank you, Mrs. Becker.
Sure.
Next item is just the school supplies. I mean, everybody every year has so much to bring into the school on that first day. We usually do in elementary a back to school night where the elementary students can bring those things in advance. We can't do that this year. We can't have everybody in the building like that, so we have to do something a little different. So what we're going to do is on the 12th of August, which is a Wednesday. So, okay, anyway, yeah, a week from tomorrow, on the 12th of August. I get my dates mixed up. It's like a blur. We can just go it. But anyway, 12th of August, we're going to have what we call a drive-up school supply drop-off. And it's going to be in the morning. And what we're going to ask you to do is to put all of your child's school supplies in a plastic bag, seal it up, tie it up, whatever, seal it so it doesn't come undone, and label it very clearly with your child's name and their grade level. You don't need to know who their teacher is because we haven't released that yet. We just need the name and the grade level. And we ask that you drop that off on the 12th of August. If your last name begins with A through L, between 8 o'clock and 10, drop it off. M through Z, between 10 and noon. If for some reason you're a Z and you can't come at 10 to noon, but you can come at 8, well, that's fine too. We're just trying to temper it so everybody doesn't arrive at exactly the same time, which sometimes that can happen. So, but the morning of August 12th is that's when we're asking you to drop those things off. And that's for everybody in the building. Not just elementary, but that's middle school as well. Middle school usually brings in their items on the first day and they're setting up lockers, and we're not doing lockers this time or this year, because we can't distance the kids if they're right next to people in the lockers.
So when you're school supply shopping, remember in middle school locker setup day always makes me smile because you've got girls who, and young men too, that are putting in a little rug on their shelf, a little chandelier, LED lights. Those don't need to be on your school supply list at this point this year because they're not going to be in the lockers. So that shopping bag of fun stuff for the locker, magnets and all of that, that doesn't need to come. It's just what they need for class.
Right. And you want to keep things as light as possible because we're not going to have the space to put it places, and more than likely each of the kids is going to have to be carrying that around or having that in a local spot at their desk. So room is going to be a little limited this year. So just please keep that in mind. We'll work with the kids when they get here to kind of set things up. We're evolving with this. We're evolving with so many things. Once the teachers get in, which they're in today, the day the video releases, we're actually making this a day earlier because we're going to be pretty busy with all the teachers coming back when they're coming in the door. We're going to be discussing all kinds of different ideas and how to do things under these new restrictions in the best way possible, and the most normal way possible that we can think of. And teachers are very creative. They come up with all kinds of ideas. We've been getting loads of emails already on so many things, especially I know some of the primary elementary teachers, well, what about the kids not seeing our faces and we're trying to form words and letters, and you may be wondering that same thing, and we did too. Well, we're looking at those clear masks. We're looking at other things that are options too. But all the options and all the things we want to do, they have to be safe, they have to be best practices, so we're researching that, and we're going to evolve into doing things the best way possible. Once we get going, you're going to see some things change, and I think that's the phrase for this year, is that things are going to be flexible and they're going to be changing, but not in a bad way. I mean, we want them to change in a good way as we kind of get used to doing things and we can do things even better. So anyway, back to the drop-off. Please, August 12th, drop off. Put the supplies in a bag, seal it, child's name clearly, and the grade level on there. The worst thing that can happen is we get all these bags with no name on it, and then we just don't know whose they are, and that'll make life a lot more complicated. We want your child's supplies to be in the classroom, in the right place, on that first day of school. So please do that, drop it off, we'll take care of the rest. And I think that's all we really need to say about that. Okay, I just want to talk about future videos and informational emails. I know we've been going a while. As we start building these lists, it seems like they grow and grow and grow. We have so much to tell you. We put it out in the handbooks. I wish we could talk about the handbook all afternoon, but that's way too long. But there's a lot of information, and it's so new this year because of everything that's going on. So, and we might have missed something, and if we do, well, we'll fill it in. And we constantly get emails and suggestions, and we appreciate all this. We've been really brainstorming all through the summer, not only Mrs. Becker and myself, but with our teachers, with other schools, other principals, Catholic Schools Office, and we were just trying to come out with the best and the simplest way of doing things to get things started. So we will evolve as we go. But coming up on the 12th, besides the drop-off of the supplies and everything, we'll be doing another startup video. Just kind of to let you know where we are, just to make sure nothing is changing. We'll also be releasing some school entry demonstration videos as well. If you have a kindergarten, what's it going to look like? If you have a third grader, what's it going to look like? A middle school student, what's it going to look like? There'll be a series of these. They'll be short, but they'll be very informational, and they'll kind of give you an idea of what it's going to look like. Then on the 13th of August, our 5th and 6th grade team of teachers will be releasing a Welcome to Middle School video, and this will be released to our 5th grade parents. Because as a 5th grader, they're coming into the middle school for the first time. Things are different, and boy, are they different this year, and it's different for everybody. But those teachers, that team of teachers, they're a dynamic team of teachers, and they're really top-notch. And they will be putting out that video to give you an idea of what middle school is going to look like for a 5th grader. It kind of breaks the ice a little bit. Something that you would want to watch maybe with your 5th grader, so that they kind of can see that as well. And then on the 14th of August, our class list will be posted. That's why it's very important for us to get all of your final registration information, because that's what we use to build those lists that we post, so please get that in. But the class lists are going to be posted for elementary, just like they normally are, who your child's teacher is. But for middle school, instead of what house they're in, we're going to have to do house a little bit different this year, because houses are a mixture of 5th and 6th grade students and 7th and 8th grade students, and we simply can't do that this year. We got to keep those groups separate. So we're going to post what your child's first period teacher is. The first period teacher is going to be typically the religion teacher, and that will be the teacher that's going to assume the house duties for this particular year. So instead of a mixture of 5th and 6th grade students in a house, we may get 5th grade students in a first period class, and that'll be acting like that house. It's just something we have to do this year. So those lists will be posted. So it is going to look a little different when your child comes looking for a house list and they find a first period class list and they're not sure what that is. You'll know what we're talking about. This is just how we have to do it for this year. And then on the 19th of August, we'll be doing our final startup video, just to kind of let you know, here we are, we're just days away from starting, and this is kind of the latest. And that might be a very short video. We might say, okay, everything we've been saying is really in play and it's going to happen, and we're excited and looking forward to it. But if there are any last minute changes, we'll communicate those to you, so you do know that. And then on September 2nd, we will have a virtual expectations and curriculum night. This replaces the in-person curriculum nights that we normally have. We can't have that, so we're going to do videos, and we're going to push them out onto the website so you can kind of look at those, and it'll be the same type of presentation that you would hear if you came in person in years past, but it'll just be a video that you'll kind of watch that way. All the teachers will be doing their normal presentations, special subject teachers, classroom teachers, everyone will be doing that. Even Mrs. Becker and I will do something in the beginning. Father will do something to assist us with that too. So you can kind of see everybody, and you can selectively which one applies to you. If you don't have a child in geometry, well, then you don't need to watch that one. But if you're interested in what they're doing in geometry, check it out and you can see that. So it'll be a little different this year. You get to see everything if you really want to. And those are the things that are coming up. There's a lot coming up. And there may be some other things that come up that we'll communicate with you. And this is a lot for you to even listen to and retain in the video. So we will be posting an email that will come out with the video that kind of is a summary of everything we've talked about today in the video. Just some final thoughts. We are really looking forward to seeing the kids again. We really are, and to get them back in school. It's been, believe it or not, it's been almost 6 months since we've had students in the building, and we so miss the students in the building. And from what I'm hearing, the students miss being in the building and being with their friends and hopefully being with their teachers too. But you know, they miss school, and we all miss that, and we all want that to start up. So we're excited about that. Please know that we're taking all of the necessary precautions, good, bad, or indifferent. I mean, some of them are more convenient, some are less convenient, you know, and some of them we just don't want to do, but we have to do. But we're taking these precautions to keep everybody safe and to keep everybody healthy. That is the number one thing that we want to do, but we can only do so much in school. We're going to keep them as safe as we can in school, but we need your help at home. We need you to take the precautions necessary at home and in the community to keep your child safe as well. And I know you're going to do that, but please just be extra conscious of that. Avoid the large gatherings. Adhere to social distancing. Wear a mask. Wash your hands continuously for 20 seconds or more. I mean, we're going to be doing all these things in school, and we want to encourage you to do all these things at home and when you're out and about in the community, because it's all of us working together that will get rid of this virus and help us get back to a more normal school year. There's so many things that we want to do this year that we might not be able to do the same way, and we're going to adjust, and we're going to have a fantastic year, but we want to even have a better year once we can get back to normal, and we're excited for that because we know that day is going to come. So please do everything you can to help us, to help you. We're all in this together, and we will get through it, and we will have a successful school year. We're very excited about that. We don't have any plans to go in anything other than 100% at this time. I know there are other schools that are looking at that and doing that. That's not our plan. We are still going forward with 100%, just like we've been talking about for the past couple of videos. We can do that because we are a small school. We can do a lot of things that the bigger schools cannot do. So that's a blessing for us. So anyway, thank you very much for watching this video. Please stay positive, stay safe. And thank you so much for all your support, you know, both now and up until this point and in the future. We really appreciate it. We can't do it without you. So thank you very much, and God bless.
Bye.